AskReddit by DuckerWiffy789. What are obvious immediate giveaways that someone is an American? As my Mexican wife says, you Americans will talk to anyone, just walk right up and before you know it they are your buddy from so and so place and you are going off with them for a while. As an American, I honestly wonder how many murderers I've struck up a conversation with in the line at Walmart. British man once told me he knew I was American because I was wearing a baseball cap backwards. My Australian wife says I look very North American, I'm Canadian, when I do that. Teeth. Americans are all about cosmetic dentistry and orthodontic. The ones that aren't are probably not able to easily afford international travel, so we don't see a lot of Americans without perfectly aligned, iridescent white teeth in the UK or Australia. Talking to strangers. Americans absolutely love talking to strangers, and when this clashes with the British imperative to avoid talking to strangers, I find it kind of hilarious. I quite enjoy when I see Americans on the tube in London, prattling away to British commuters who look like they are dying inside. Flip-flops sandals. In warm weather you'll see Americans wearing leather flip-flops. As a flip-flop connoisseur, I'm Australian. I spot the American style flip-flops a mile away. I am poor and have shitty teeth. Can confirm this dude's theory. Never travel overseas, can't even afford to fix my teeth, and I would fix them before travel. Dude, man. Brit sauces are easily identified by bloke and mate. Hey, how are ya? Good, and you? When they say they are in Europe and not France, Germany, etc. But then they cross the magical Austrian-Czech border and they're suddenly in Eastern Europe now. I am German. And when a woman told me about a sinkhole in their hometown, they said, I don't know what you measure in. So it was the size of about 2 McDonald's restaurants. That woman is now my fiancée. Tipping. Every time I visit my relatives in Italy they say don't ruin it for us. They don't want the whole tipping thing to catch on. The accent. Accent? What accent? How should I put this? You sound like an enthusiastic car salesman. Talking to strangers in public. After living in Germany for 2 months I was horrified when a stranger on the bus commented on my shoes. Jesus, this explains why I was accosted by some Mormons on their mission on my way to go for a swim with my headphones in. I genuinely thought I dropped something because I couldn't fathom any other reason for striking up conversation. Pre-COVID having hand sanitizer clipped to their backpack. Not sure that's still as accurate today. God, I was always so jealous of the bitches that could afford cute ass fancy Bath and Body Works hand sanitizers that clipped to their backpacks. Shit was like $5 for the really chick small glittery cutesy ones all the mean popular girls had. You know what, Valerie? Fuck you and your red velvet sparkle cake hand sanitizer backpack clip. I'm Canadian. Generally Americans are far less reserved and love small talk. For sure this haha. Had a friend from Sweden visit for the first time. We had to run and get groceries and the guy in front of us in line was buying a handle of vodka and 2 big boxes of ice cream sandwiches. Told him he had the right idea and we laughed and she was like, who was that? Told her I didn't know and she was really surprised that I just started a conversation with a random guy in line. Ranch. Stopped at a steakhouse in Frankfurt and a salad came with my meal. They asked if we wanted Italian or American dressing. American was ranch. My friend, Australian, walked into a McDonald's in the US and there was a man sitting at one of the tables reading a Bible and openly wearing a gun around his waist. That is a uniquely American combination. That's gym. Every MC Donald's in America is required to have a gym in some way so it fits the stereotype. They either carry huge backpacks for a one-day trip into the jungle or carry nothing and walk in barefooted. Bruh, I've seen people carry huge backpacks just to the office and back. I don't understand the phenomenon, but you're right. I said y'all when I went to Europe. Immediately outed myself. Edit, a word. Edit 2, it was England. Edit 3, I've had enough people insult me for put in Europe. I'm not changing it now out of spite. Never be ashamed of our mastery of the second person plural. Volume. In a museum in London where everyone is speaking quietly, and then boom, an American accent out of nowhere just catches you so off guard. Gleaming white teeth, using the words restroom, sneakers and soda. Deleted. Having a private conversation that everyone within 20m can hear. So the sitcoms where they secretly discussed about the person in the next room with no door in between are accurate. The volume of their voice. Every time I'm with my American friends I am shocked at how loud they are. It depends which country you go to. My dad is Iranian. His friends are way louder than any Americans I've ever heard. My wife is Brazilian. Her family is way louder than any Americans I've ever heard. Claiming that they don't have an accent, when literally everybody has an accent. I work in a hotel and anytime I'm talking to the residents and I can clearly tell that they're from America, I always ask them what state they're from. 99% of the time they immediately ask what gave it away, and after I tell them it's the accent, it's usually followed by I don't have an accent. Never fails to make me giggle. IDK how, but I just scrolled through all 10.3k comments. Edit, there's almost 30k comments and I'm not gonna read all of those. When they're in another country, vacation, business etc. When a local asks them where they're from they say their state instead of their country. I'm sorry but not many people in Brazil know what a Delaware is. The Bay Area. WTF? Deleted. Always presuming everyone is American online in general. I visit our architecture a fair bit. I'm architect. It's a pretty international sub and there are often posts about how to become an architect or what the degree is like, etc. Anyone who's not American will say where they're from. What's the process to become an architect in the UK? Americans never say where they're from and just assume everyone else is American. It's always just what's architecture school like. The answer is very different depending where you're from. I've also seen them answer a question by someone from a different country, completely ignoring where the OP is from. Like telling someone they can do an architecture masters with any prior degree. No, in lots of places, maybe most, you absolutely can't do that and is bad advice. It's only irritating because it happens all the time. When they talk about the two kinds of political ideologies. Bro. I'm American and I hate this about is more than anything. To be fair, I've said the US or America to people in foreign countries asking where I'm from and they always say yeah obviously, but where in the US? BTW, the correct answer to but where in the US is New York, Texas, or California, maybe Florida. Answer anything else and you've lost 80% of people. Aluminum. Aluminium. Saying the temperature is 100 degrees. So as an African I used to believe America was hotter than Africa till I learned that it was in Fahrenheit not Celsius. Edit, little me used to think those people were melting out there lol. Trying to communicate with other languages by just speaking English but slowly and making way too much hand gestures. I have a stepmother from Thailand so I see this a lot. She has a very thick accent but 100% fluent in English and can speak very well. People speak slow and loudly at her all the time and I'm so used to the way she speaks I hear her perfectly fine lol. Online. Referring to an organization called the National such and such. National to which nation?